Welcome to Bella Lina Boutique. Let's DIY some scented strawberries.
Hey everyone, it's Susie Lee with Bella Lina Boutique. Come on in. Happy Thursday, guys. Whew. And just like that, it's Thursday. What happened? Wasn't it Monday like a week ago? What happened? I don't know. Anyway, I got some cute strawberries we're going to be making today. They're going to be fabric. They're going to be little sachets. We're going to have some fun learning how to make these. If you've never made fabric strawberries before, you're in for a treat because it's really simple and it's really cool. It can make a great gift. We are going to have a good old time today for 45 minutes. You guys will be with me if you want to hang out here and learn a fun new craft. Now, when you make strawberries, when you make these strawberries, don't get all excited about the color because strawberries come in all shapes, colors, and sizes, right? I just went around my house and I looked for fabrics in red, but it doesn't have to be red. You could even do them in burlap. You could do them in linen. You could do them just in the shape of a strawberry. I've seen white strawberries before with a little touch of green in them. They're so pretty. Strawberries that aren't completely ripened are white with a little bit of green in them. Anyway, I came up with some fabrics in my stash. This one was too, actually, I'm not using this one. This one was too, it's stretchy and all, but it's more for like a headband or something like that. It wasn't big enough. I needed something round, like this big around. This is, let me just see here. This is a 6-inch round. Look around your house. Use a bowl. Use a cup. I used a solo cup and made some of these smaller ones. I made some tiny ones. Look at how cute that is. Isn't that the cutest thing? Anyway, I was so happy to make these. I don't know why. I love strawberries. I love berries. I'm going to show you how we start making the strawberry. Now, here's the thing. You can use these for so many things. I filled it with something pretty smelling, but you can fill it with fiber fill. You can fill it with those pellets. I even took some of the fabric and I covered the fabric with this white lace and made some white lace ones. I'm going to show you how to do that. It's white lace over red. Anyway, this was just a French brie box that I had laying around. Don't ask me why I keep things like this. You just never know when that makes a nice surface, does it not? We could do a lot with this. Anyway, so what I did was I took my fabric, I took my friction pen here, and you take the back side of the fabric, and you're just going to put this down and you're going to trace around it. Just like this. You can use anything you want. I'm using my friction pen, but not that I need to because, friction pens, when you heat them, the ink disappears. So that's kind of cool. But you don't really need to because you don't see any of it. Once I'm done with everything, you don't see any of that. So just go around it a couple times. Make sure you have a circle that you can see like that. And then you're going to cut it out. Yes, you are. You're going to cut it out just like this. I like to get rid of the bulk right off the bat. I don't know about you, but I don't like bulk. So I just get rid of it right away. And there's that. And then I can cut. So how are you guys doing this wonderful afternoon? What's up with y'all? I haven't talked to you since Monday. We haven't chatted since Monday. Since Totally Dazzled. Honestly, these days are starting to run right on in one to the other. Are you guys getting like that? Honestly, flying by. Man, I'm thinking it's going to be Christmas again before I should have just kept that tree up. I should have just kept it up, right? Oh my goodness, seriously. And just carefully cut it out. Circle doesn't have to be perfect. Let me tell you why. Because you're going to gather it at the top. Ain't nobody going to see it. So don't get yourself all excited if it isn't perfect. It can be. This is perfect enough right here. Okay. All right. then you want to use half of this circle. So once you have a circle of any size cut out, I think these smaller ones that I did with the solo cup. So they were about 3 3/4, almost 4 inches. They were, just say 4 inches. And they were the smaller ones. So you can do that. All right, so you're going to fold it in half, just as good as you can. Again, doesn't have to be perfect. You're just going to stick your scissor up in here and you're going to cut it in half, just like this. Again, perfection is not a necessity here. Okay? Now, you got a couple of choices. One of the smaller ones I did it with a hot glue gun. I just folded it in half, and you want the wrong side out, okay? You can do it inside out. And what I did was I took a hot glue and I just put it along the seam and I held it for a very long time. I let it completely harden before I flipped it right side. Because I didn't want any of the stuff I'm putting in, which is basically going to be Epsom salts. That's, I call it stink purdy. Stink purdy Epsom salts. This has bergamot and lavender in it. It smells divine up in this room. Let me just tell you. I wish we had smell-o-vision so you could smell this. It is literally divine if you like those kinds of scents. Now, I had an epiphany after I made all of these, and I should have went over to the health food store and got me some strawberry oil and put some in plain Epsom salts, and I could have made it smell like strawberry shortcake. Remember those dolls, they would blow you a kiss with strawberry shortcake? Isn't that cool? I could have done that. Well, you guys can. You guys can do that. I'm giving you that idea right now. It's an option. All right, so, but what I did, after I did the one with the hot glue, I went, meh. It's okay. I want it to be sealed really well. So I made a bunch of these, a whole pile of them, a plethora, if you will. And I went over to my sewing machine. I just stacked them just like this. Took them on over to my sewing machine. And what you want to do is you want to run a stitch. It doesn't take sewing skills. You can do it with your needle and thread if you want. But I just ran a stitch right along that line. What is that, like 3 inches? Not even 2.5 inches? You run a stitch right across there and you leave this curved part open. Why? Because you need that part open. And let me show you what it looks like. Okay, I just did the same thing. Now, when I added the lace, all I did was I cut a lace piece, the exact same circle that I did, that I showed you here, cut a lace piece, folded it in half, cut it in half, and I laid the lace right on top of the half circle. I laid the lace right here, okay? Then I folded it in half, took it over to my machine, and I sewed a line right there. Okay, that's it. A seam. That's it. That's all I did. Now, that fabric is messy, but that's okay. So what I did was I sewed a little stitch right there. You can see I did it in the white so you could see. You can do it in coordinating colors. It doesn't matter. You're not going to see it because you're going to do this. You're going to take it and you're going to flip it this way. And you're going to get yourself a little stick. Don't use a skewer because they're too skinny and it'll poke through. You want something a little bit bigger, like a 1/4 inch like this or an 1/8 inch. Something a little fatter. The head of your scissors would be okay as long as it wasn't too sharp. A pen, that would work. I could have just used you can use anything that points that out like that because you want it to come to a cute little point like that. Okay? And that is all of the connecting of the fabric that I did. I use dental floss for when I make little fur pom-poms that go on top of the hats, not little ones, big ones, the big fur pom-poms that go on top of my crocheted hats and stuff like that. That's what I use. I use dental floss because it is not going to break. It's waxed. This I get from the Dollar Tree. This is just Dollar Tree stuff. It's waxed. I make a big old knot, a big one, okay? And I'm just going to go in from the inside part here. I'll start back here by the seam. And so the knot's on the inside, right, like that. And what you're going to do is you're going to do a running stitch. You know what a running stitch is? In and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. You just want to make sure you're grabbing up both fabrics, the lace and the red, all the way around, in and out, in and out. And you're going to do about 5 or 6 of these running stitches, and you're going to pull it through, and you're going to do it again until you go all the way around like that. So far so good, right? Easy peasy, right? Are y'all taking notes? Just wondering if y'all are listening. Okay, so once you get all the way around, which I'm not yet, give me a minute or two. I'm going to do a couple of these so you'll see how it's done. It goes with my whipstick. I thought my whipstick was more burgundy, but hey, gotta match your craft, right? People used to say all the time that I match my craft, and they thought I was doing it on purpose. And I swear to you, it must have been subliminal that I was doing it. Not on purpose at all. Not at all. I was just doing it because I don't know. It must have been just in my head to match my craft because it happened like all the time. I didn't mean it at all. I didn't mean, and 9 times out of 10, it's like, what do I have clean? Right? You know that story. It's like, what do I have clean? People are saying, oh, you're matching your craft again. I'm like, okay, well, all right, so I'll own it. Then I'll own it. All right, so we're all the way around to the other side here of the seam. All the way around, just like that. Pull it on through. Okay, so now you can cinch it. It's kind of looking strawberry-ish already, right? Right, okay. So you want to make it kind of cinched, and then you're going to pull it apart again because you kind of want to get it to where you can hold it open. Now I have my dirty paint spoon here is what I had up here to use, but it's not really dirty. It's just paint, dried paint. I have this Epsom salts that's got bergamot and lavender. Bergamot is a really, really soft, very pleasant scent. Some people might not like it, but I really love it because it's just very soft and subtle and pleasant and sweet. Bergamot is what I think they put a lot of times in men's cologne. They mix bergamot and sandalwood and vanilla notes and things like that. It's just a very nice, pleasant fragrance. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and I'm going to stuff it in my strawberry. Let me just tell you how good this room smells just from having this little bit in my room. Okay, now some would be like, oh, I don't want to put it up too high because I don't want to, I don't want it to fall over. Well, you put it over your cup. If some of it falls out, you swipe it in the garbage and move on with life. It's going to be all right. But what I like to do is I want my strawberries fat, I want them fat. So when I go to do this and pull my string thing here, it remains nice and full and fat. See that? Watch this. Because I did one where I didn't do that, and I'll show you the difference. I will show you. I'll let some of it fall out of the top here. Just kind of tap it out like that. Keep pulling it because you want it to close. You do want it to close. That's what you want. Okay, and let it fall. But you see how nice and firm that is? This one, I didn't do that. And you see how it's kind of like a hacky sack? If you want a hacky sack, you can do that, But it's not as firm. I like my strawberries nice and big and firm like that. So once you get it where you want it, tap a little more out if you want. Then you're going to take your needle that's still attached, right? And you're going to go from one side of your strawberry to the other and pull it through, just like this. And you're going to do it again. And you're going to keep going, maybe 5 stitches, maybe 6, back and forth. And as you're pulling it, you see what happens when I pull that? Oh, yeah, it flies out of the Epsom salt, Susie. Every single time I do a stitch, it pulls it that much tighter on the top. Now I'm just kind of going in a circle, making this stitch a little bit. I'm going to put it over this cup in case some falls out. Each time I do this, I move a little over to the left or the right, whichever way you want to go, whichever way you want your circle to go, and you just keep stitching it. Now I've done like, what, 2 or 3 stitches. It takes about 5, maybe 6, and you close it up. It's that simple. Hi, Camille. It's that simple. Super, super simple. A very fun craft just to kind of hang out on a rainy day. It's so rainy here in Michigan. I'm so over this rain. I don't know. I am. I'm over it. All right, who's counting? Who's been counting? I said 5 or 6. I don't know. It might be 7. Who knows? The bigger the strawberry, the more stitches you're going to need at the top, right? That's all I know. And here's the thing. As long as you get it kind of cinched here at the top, you're good. Because you're going to put some greenery over top of it. Like that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it through one more last time, and I'm going to make a knot. Push it through. It gets a little tougher each time. Now, if you have issues with dexterity in that, grab yourself a little plier or something and just pull it through. Don't make your hand go numb like mine. Just pull it through, and then just take a little tiny stitch somewhere. It doesn't matter where. Okay, a little stitch. Then you're going to take your needle. You're going to run it through the loop once and through the loop twice. Whoops. Don't drop your needle because my hand's numb. Darn carpal tunnel. Make me cray cray. All right. And then you're going to make a little knot. I'm going to do that twice just because I want to make sure it doesn't come apart. You can do it once. It's really not that imperative that you do it twice, but I'm just a little over the top, you know. And snip it off. And now you have a cute little fat strawberry instead of a hacky sack. This is still cute, but it's just not as full, that's all. Okay, so this is what we have thus far. Isn't that cute? So sweet, right? All right, here's the deal. So how do you want to make the tops? How do we get from this to this? I'm going to show you on a piece of paper. Why? Because it's easier to see. All right, so pretend this is this. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to fold it in half and in half again. Now, you see you got all this open paper here, all this open stuff here. You want to hold the section that's like on the fold, all on the fold. The little corner here where you got a fold and a fold, that's what you want to hold, okay? And all you want to do is cut the shape of a leaf. Don't cut this part of don't cut this, because this is what's going to this is going to keep your leaf attached right here. So don't cut that. So what you're going to do is you're going to go like this and cut kind of the shape of a leaf. Like this, kind of like that, all right? Flip it over. Keep holding on to that little, you do not want to cut that. That's your holding together point, okay? You're going to go down and you're going to cut another shape. It doesn't have to be perfect, okay? All right. So the reason you don't cut that is because when you open it, you have a leaf shape that you can plop on top of your strawberry. Now, this is one big strawberry. If you have a strawberry that big, how cute would that be, though, to make? I'm just thinking that would be really cute to make for a little girl's room. I mean, strawberry shortcake was a big hit back in the 70s, right? and still is today. Well, listen, if you made a big old honkin' strawberry pillow for her and put some strawberry fragrance in there, essential oil, you could even dot some in the fiber fill and then add a big old topper to it. How cute would that be? Throw that on her bed and it would smell like strawberries in her room. I love that idea. Anyway, just happened to think of that. So we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it with this little square, okay? And it's you'll see why I did it with paper so you could see it a little bit easier. Okay, so you take the square, fold it in half again. Find your folded corner, that little folded corner. You're gonna grab it and pinch it, and don't let go. You're gonna take really good scissors, and you're gonna, because it's four ply, and you're gonna do the same thing. You're just gonna cut the shape as best you can of a leaf. Okay, you're gonna flip it around, keep pinching that end, right? And you're gonna do the same thing on this side. It's not gonna be perfect, but it's gonna be leafy. So when I open this up, this itty bitty, I got the same thing. I got the top of a strawberry. What we're gonna do here, we're gonna take a little bit of hot glue right at the top here, and making sure that this center covers up all of that stuff in the middle. I said, don't worry about it because you're not gonna see it. You're not gonna see it because you got this covered by your little bit of felt. Now, if you didn't have green felt, you could take a piece of white felt and you could color it. You could take, I think I did, this one was with a marker. This one was with a fabric marker. This one was with paint. This was with a real marker. I just went, you can just color your own, and just because you don't have green doesn't mean you can't make green, right? No big deal. Even if you didn't have fabric, you could take a coffee filter and you could dye your coffee filter, stain it with green paint, and cut these out, make little squares and cut them out, and put a little coffee filter one on top. It doesn't even have to be fabric. It can be anything. So, use your imagination. Okay, so for that little thing at the bottom of the strawberry, usually there's like a little stem or something. I've got this green yarn. You don't have to do this. This is completely optional. Hi, Eileen. Hi, Michelle Bowles. And what you can do is take your yarn and make a knot, just like this. And with the little ones, I just used like maybe 2 knots. But with the bigger ones, I did like 3 knots because I wanted it to be seen. So I pulled it really, really, really tight, just like that. And I just cut it down right all the way to the end, like that. Get all the furry parts off, all the little furry bits. Take the end, that little end there, add a little dot of hot glue, just like that. And you got that little green part at the bottom of your strawberry. Okay, now strawberries will have like a little flower up here. When you're picking them, they might have whoopsie, there went my paint. But since I had lace on it, I decided I was going to make a little pearl on top. If you had a little white button, you could use a little white button, but I've got these little flat back pearls. I'll take a few of them out here because I am going to do a couple more of these. Well, maybe I won't be doing a couple more. Maybe I'll only be doing one more because I do not have that much time because I want to show you how I do the basket. So all I'm going to do is put a little dot, of glue here. We're going to add this little pearl right on top, like that. Like that. And I am going to go underneath each of these leaves and just give it a little dot of glue, just so it lays down on the strawberry nicely. You don't have to, if you want your leaves to stick up, that's fine too. You can do however you want to do it, whatever you think looks best. Okay, just laying them down, letting the tips flip up a little bit, you know, kind of like that, but just kind of putting a little bit of glue up further toward the center, like that. And you have an adorable strawberry, right? I love that. Okay, so can you do it with other fabrics? Yes, you can. Now I thought this would look really dumb doing it with this fabric. I thought, oh man, this is going to look silly doing it with this, but it doesn't. It doesn't. It looks really cool. When you take this fabric and you cut the half circle and fold it in half and you sew it, you sew the little seam here, right? Then you're going to flip it right side like that and poke it in the center like that. And you're going to sew it all the way around like we did with the dental floss. I used 2-ply. I doubled it up. And you're going to sew it all the way around. You're going to cinch it, okay? And you're going to fill it with your Epsom salt. You can fill it with plain Epsom salt and season it. Season it, yeah. Season it. Smell it up. Smell it up. Any smell you would like. Any fragrance you would like. You could even put, if you had your favorite perfume, you could take Epsom salt and you could spray your favorite perfume and stir it around and give it a fragrance of your favorite perfume. I think that would be fun too. Anyway, but you could put these, make these like little sachets for a drawer. You could, you know, give a whole gift basket of them for someone, for their drawer, for mom, for, you know, for grandma, whoever. These would make really cute little shower gifts, I think. You can use them for little air fresheners, just a whole bowl or basket of them. I'm going to show you 2 ways to display them today. But anyway, let me show you what this ends up looking like. I did one already in this color here, and I think it looks adorable. It's got the black and red buffalo check. You could take, I didn't have any polka dot fabric. If you had gingham would be really cute. I did not have any. But you could take this looks like a hacky sack, this one. But you could take any of these, like I did the little ones here, some little ones I did with some embossed felt that I had. You could take a little bit of paint on the back of a paintbrush and do little polka dots, little white polka dots all over that. Wouldn't that be cute and whimsical? So simple, right? So easy, easy peasy. And in fact, I might end up doing that one with this one. I might, but I'm going to make some more to go in my basket. Just not right now, because I want to show you a couple of ways that you can display these. And one of the ways that I did display these is, let me show you. Let me just show you here. Let me take them out. I have a pretty crystal bowl. I was given this by a dear friend of mine. I just took some of these from the dollar store, these little floral. You get these in the floral department too at Hobby Lobby. These little glass pieces, but you can get them at the Dollar Tree in the craft store, in the craft department. And you can take and put this in a sweet little half bath or something like this. Smells so good. I wish you could smell this. It's phenomenal. But anyway, you start, just start piling them on in. I got big ones, I got little ones, but I'm going to take the 3. I got 4 big ones actually. And then I'm just going to start putting some of the smaller ones in. I just want something for a base so that you can actually see what we got in here, like this. Okay, so you put this in a bathroom and somebody walks in, it's going to smell just like this. It's going to smell heavenly, especially a smaller bathroom. A smaller room, you're really going to smell it. You can pile them. I'm going to put some more in here. I think they're adorable. However, if you were looking for more of a country flair, we're going to do that. The other day, I made a hot air balloon, and I took the basket that was actually a strawberry basket, and it was green, okay? A little green plastic strawberry basket. I painted it brown, okay? All I did was take it, and I've got the brown paint is Folk Art paint for plastic. Did you know that they had folk art paint for plastic? You can get this at Hobby Lobby, and you can, this is one coat. This is just one coat. It covered it well. So then I took some of my burlap. I have a ton of this stuff, and I just cut a little section of it. And what I did, and I'm not altogether sure that I like it. I'm not altogether sure. You might want to take your basket and just cover it with ribbon or cover it like this fully. I was trying to make it look like a basket, like it was woven. So what I did was I cut this kind of on the wide side, a little bit wider than these little sections there, and I wove it in and out, all the way around. I took some jute twine, and first thing I did was painted it. Second thing I did was I took the jute twine and I cut it into sections, about a foot long each, and I wrapped it around the top. So you can see on this one that I did already, I just wrapped it. See what I did? I wrapped it around the top all the way around. It took some time. You know, you put on your favorite crafter and you watch them or listen to them while you're, or your favorite binge series, and watch that. And then when I was done wrapping, they called me the wrapper. When I was done wrapping, I took these sections and I wove them in and out, all the way around this basket. And I was like, I don't know if I really like it that well, but if I were to do it again, I might cut sections, okay, and weave like a whole piece of it, like this wide. Weave a piece with maybe 3 sections and weave it. Maybe so it'll go all the way around the basket. So it'll look like a basket weave, and then you wouldn't have to worry so much about the brown part showing or whatever, the green part showing. But that's another suggestion you can do. But we're going to use the one I did today because we're going to use a little bit of this. I had red gingham. I don't have red gingham fabric, but I do have red gingham ribbon. Let's see, which side do I like the best? Okay. I'm going to just, what time is it? I got 10 minutes. I got 10 minutes. How about that? Put my little finger protector on here. And right here in the middle of the basket, I'm going to hot glue it right here. And we're going to wrap it around. This is wired ribbon. I don't know where I got it. Maker's Holiday. Michael's? Sounds like maybe Michael's. I'm not real sure, to be honest with y'all. We're going to pull it nice and taut. Okay. I'm going to cut it. All right, and glue it on the other end. Just like that. I want it straight though, because you know, it's the little things that make you twitch at night. All right, so we've got this, and yeah, it's kind of, because it's a little bit sticking up, but you know, it's a strawberry basket. Build a bridge and get over it, right? It's really cute. It's getting countrified right now, right? And I've got these cute little whimsical pom-poms that I got from the Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to go along the edge of this and glue some of these on and make it cutesy. Cutesy, cutesy. So, little hot glue. Like that. How stinking cute is this? This looks like something you'd see at the country fair, like where you'd get like a farmer's market or something cute like that, something sweet, you know? Or you might find in a quaint little boutique somewhere downtown. That's what Bella Lina Boutique is. It's not like a boutique like you would think of a boutique. Bella Lina Boutique is a boutique where you would find Yeah, you might find a hat or a purse or some jewelry or something like that, but you also might find some things for your home. You might find some art. You might find, oh, I don't know, a cute little basket of sachet strawberries. That kind of thing. That's the kind of boutique I am. A lot of people don't get confused with that. And 99% of what's in my boutique is made by me. Because I'm an Etsy boutique. So, Etsy, you have to have handmade items. Or you can sell, on Etsy, you can sell supplies to make an item with. Or it can be, antique, sorry. I went far away for a minute. I'm back. Susie, come back. Finish that thought. I'm just going to cut it right here. Finish it, the trimming part here. How cute is that already? Seriously, you guys? That's just adorable, right? Just adorable. Now, like I said, you can do it all fancy and some crystal in your bathroom, make it cute. You could put one of those cute, do you ever go like to TJ Maxx or Marshall's and look at their, sometimes they have that Royal Albert, like they'll have a teacup or a saucer, like one piece or two pieces or whatever. Sometimes you can go to the thrift store and find those, right? Or a pretty little bowl that's like got all the roses. It's a little china bowl. That's what you want to put these in. Stuff like that. You can put, you know, put it in a little cute little bowl and it would make a great gift. Or you can make it for yourself, right? Okay, so we've got all of these. Where are my, here. I've got this raffia. We're gonna open this bag of raffia. Well, actually it's already open. I'm gonna empty it using some things that I already have in my stash. We're going to take all this raffia out of here, like that. Because you got to build it up. You don't want to lose all your strawberries down in the bottom of your basket, right? Like that. Make it look like, you know, Dorothy on The Wizard of Oz, like her little basket. Cute. So what we're going to do is the same thing that we did. I'm going to transfer them from the pretty little bowl here to this bowl, to this basket. And I'm just gonna kind of mix them up a little. Some little strawberries in here, big strawberries, little. Yeah, I might put some more on the bottom. I might fill that, make it a little bit more substantial at the bottom because I don't want all these sinking to the bottom, you know, where you can't see them. I want you to be able to see the pretty little strawberries. Anyway, but look at how cute and how sweet that turned out, right? Just adorable. We only have a couple minutes left here, and what I'm going to do really quick is I'm going to make I took a little piece of that burlap and a little bit of fabric, and I'm going to add a little sign to this. It's going to say pint. So I got P and I and N and T. And I left a little space there because I'm going to take my black Posca paint pen, and I'm going to put the number 1 right here, kind of off 1 pint, like that. And I'm going to add a little string to it, like that. And you can tie it through here if you want. It doesn't matter. Just going to make a little loop. And hot glue it onto the back. and you got yourself a really cute little gift basket of strawberries. Isn't that sweet? So there you go. And probably gonna hot glue it right to the front here, somewhere right here in the front, in the corner, right there. How adorable is that? Ta-da. Ta-da moment. There you go, guys. So that's how you do it. You make some strawberries. All right, my time is up. Hey, if you're not following Bella Lina Boutique, come on over and give me a follow. Sure would love to have you. Love you all so much. Have a wonderful rest of your Thursday, and I will talk to you again real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.